Okay, Comp One. So we are at the home stretch. So while you do have Thanksgiving and everything else going on this week, it is the final stretch of the semester. So today we officially start the final project. And what that is our portfolio project. So let's talk a little bit about this. I'm going to share my screen with you and I'll take you through how this is going to work. So you go to your homework and assignments and you go down here to the final project. So we don't have a final, as far as a final exam in this class, but what we do have is a final project. So you click there and you're going to read the portfolio assignment. So as of now, you should have read it already. That was part of last week's assignment, but it's okay. Just take a look at it. So the portfolio assignment, let's just go through this real quick. There are two portions in this portfolio assignment, and we'll just cover this really quickly today. Essentially, this is your final. It counts for 10% of your grade. So that's like a midterm or a final of any, or actually 150 points. So 15% of your grade. Wow, I forgot about that. So, all right, so 15% of your grade is this final project. And it consists of two things. Now, there's three things listed here, and that's because when we did this in person, a lot of professors would have a physical copy. I never did, so this is no different than what I normally do. So really, we're going to have one thing. It's a cover letter and a reflection. So this is going to be a reflective letter that you're going to write, and we'll cover that in just a minute. What that's going to look like. It will be a thesis-driven essay, but it's in the process. It's basically a reflection over what you've done this semester. The next thing is you're going to do 3 finished graded essays, basically 3 revisions. So you don't have to hand in the graded essays to me. All you have to do is revise 3 of your essays this semester. One of those essays has to be your argumentative essay, so essay 4. So what that means is that you will you get to choose one of the, or 2 of the 3 first essays that we wrote. So the very first essay, essay 2 or essay 3, you get to choose 2 out of those 3. And then whenever I grade your essay 4, you're going to revise essay 4. Now let's talk just a little bit about what that's going to look like. First of all, you don't have to give me the first version. I've already got that because it's saved in Blackboard. So when it comes to revision, essentially what you're going to try to do is make these essays better. Now, there's 2 things you can do to make these essays better. First of all, some of you guys, you wrote such great essays that maybe a lot of you guys got 100% or close to a 100% on these essays. And you're like, how do I make them any better? I already got an A. Well, in your case, what you're going to try to do, you're going to read the essay and maybe try to reimagine one of the paragraphs. Or maybe there's a comment or something that I made that gives you some kind of a direction and says, okay, well, if I would have rewritten it this way, maybe it would be better. You don't have to rewrite the whole essay, but maybe choose a paragraph that you feel like, okay, I could really have done this better in this particular paragraph, and do it like that. Now, for a lot of you guys, most of the class, right, we don't have this problem. Most of the class, it's a little easier to pick out what the problems were in our essays because there were more problems. And that's fine. So take a look at your essay. First of all, obviously, if there are any marks that I've made, you need to fix those marks. That's the easy, very easy stuff. What we call the low-hanging fruit is to fix the things that I marked. If you don't fix the things that I told you were a problem, then, I mean, you can expect to do very poorly on this part of your portfolio because I told you it was a problem. So a lot of people will have issues with citation, okay? Make sure that you've improved the citation. Some of you guys are going to have sentence issues, run-on sentences, things like that you're going to need to improve. So what you're going to try to do is go back, look at all those issues. Now, that's not going to be the whole deal, though. There's other things that you're going to have to do as well. And what you're really trying to do is you want to look at the rubric and try to decide, okay, where are there issues that I can, even things that Professor Coomer didn't mark, what are some things that maybe I could do to this essay to make it better, to make it a stronger essay, to make it clearer for my reader? And you're going to make those changes, all right? I expect to see a lot of change in your essays, especially the ones where maybe you didn't do so well. if you didn't do well at all. For some of you guys, there were essays where you completely missed the point of the essay, or you didn't achieve the goal of the essay. Well, in that case, take another look and try to achieve that goal, right? Now, you don't have to do all of the essays over again. You don't have to rewrite all of the essays. Just make adjustments, make significant changes to these essays that will improve them for your readers, okay? And so 3 of the 4 essays we've done this semester, you have to revise. One of them has to be your essay 4. Now, you might be saying, okay, Professor Coomer, I just handed in essay 4. You haven't graded it yet. That's true. This week is going to be a crazy week of grading for me. And yes, I have holiday plans and all these things as well. So I've got to do a lot of grading. And so here's my promise to you. I will get your essay 4 graded and handed back to you by Wednesday of next week, okay? At the very latest. Basically, it's going to be whoever handed in their essay first, you're going to get yours graded and handed back to you first, and it's just going to go in that order. So don't wait until I've handed it back to you. Don't wait until I've graded it for you to start on this project. Go ahead and get everything else done. And then whenever I hand back your essay 4 graded, then you can complete that, okay? So you've already got 2 out of the first 3 essays from this semester that you can choose to revise and make better. And I'm not going to help you with it. Nobody can help you with it. Even the tutors can't help you with this. This is all based off of, did you learn anything, right? That's the whole point of a final. A whole final exam is, did you learn anything? Well, what have you learned based off of all this stuff that we've done this semester? So take a look at those first 3 essays that you've had graded and handed back to you. My best advice to you is to choose probably the best one and maybe the worst one. And this demonstrates to me, as your teacher, that you have learned how to revise and that you've improved over the semester. That's the whole point of a final exam, is to show that you've learned the material. And that's what we're trying to demonstrate in this part of the assignment. The next part of the assignment is the cover letter. So we've talked about one half of the assignment. The other half of the assignment is a cover letter. This is basically an essay, okay? So it's an essay that is talking about your personal growth as a writer. All right, so let's just read this together. This is a reflection. It needs to be at least 800 words. You've already done way more than this semester, so 800 words shouldn't be a big problem. For the portfolio, should address your growth over the semester. Some questions to consider are below. You may cover as many as you would like to, so choose whichever you feel the most appropriate for your growth over the semester. In order to earn full credit for the reflection, anytime anything's in bold, you really want to really stress that part. Anytime, so it says, in order to earn full credit for the reflection, you must make sure that you discuss any topic you choose using detailed, specific examples from your work done over the semester. So, for instance, maybe, so you're going to essentially have an essay, your introduction. Let's talk about this. So your introduction is going to probably be something about, hey, I've never really liked writing, or maybe I've always enjoyed writing. Basically introducing yourself as a writer. And then you're going to get to your thesis statement. And the thesis statement is going to be a statement about your growth this semester. Okay. So I'm going to give you some help right now, and I'm not going to give you any other help besides this. Okay. Because this is your final and I can't help you after this, after today, other than maybe if you have questions about what the assignment is supposed to be, I can't really give you any guidance or help. But you should have a thesis statement, and maybe your thesis statement might be something like, over the course of this semester, my composition skills have improved and I'm ready for Comp 2. Or maybe it's going to be something like, over the course of the semester, I have improved my competency in writing essays at a college level and am ready to complete the course. Something like that. Essentially, you're making a claim that you have acquired the skills that we teach in Comp 1. That's really the claim of a final or any exam, is I have learned this material. And that's the thesis statement. That's the argument you're going to be making in this reflective letter. Now, that will be your introduction and your thesis statement. Then you've got your body paragraphs. And for your body paragraphs, we've got a lot of ideas. But basically, each body paragraph should discuss some element of writing where you've improved. Okay, so maybe it's in the area of pre-writing. Okay, maybe pre-writing was something you've never done before this class. So a lot of people say, before Comp 1, I never really did a lot of brainstorming, clustering, or free writing. And that is something that I had to do in this class because Professor Coomer made me. And I noticed that because of this, I've grown a lot. For instance, early on, and you always want to give examples. Maybe you might say, in the first essay, I didn't really know what I was doing. So my brainstorming was kind of not really helpful because I really didn't know what I was doing. By the time the third essay rolled around, I was brainstorming more efficiently, and I was really coming up with good ideas that I actually used in my essay. By the time essay 4 came around, which was an argument of my own design, I was able to brainstorm things that I would specifically use in the essay. Okay, notice what I'm doing in this. I'm pointing out specific times in the semester, and I'm saying, this is how it was then, this is how it is now. I want you to do that for all of the body paragraphs. So let's talk about, maybe you're talking about outlining, okay? This is one that a lot of people have troubles with, especially early on. Maybe you might start the paragraph saying, outlining was never something that I did seriously in high school. I would always have to do outlines for my teacher, but I always felt like it was a waste of time, especially because we had to do these elaborate outlines with Roman numerals and numbers and letters and things like that. But in this class, we didn't have to do elaborate outlines as long as we did basic outlines with a thesis statement and topic sentences, which I found to be more effective than the elaborate ones. In essay 1, I didn't really have a good idea of how this worked, but I did my best. My outline was pretty basic and I didn't really have complete sentences. But by essay 2, my sentences were clearer and I started to understand that the outline was a great way to plan my essay ahead of time so that I could have quality paragraphs in my essay. By the time essay 4 rolled around, I was ready. Before I even started my final draft, I already knew exactly what my thesis statement would be and my paragraphs would be because I had planned them ahead with my outline. You see, what I'm doing here, okay, in each paragraph, what you're doing is you're talking about your process. Tell me how you progressed over the semester, okay? And maybe you might say, I still don't like outlining, but I do see its value. Now is not a time, first of all, if for some reason you want to say, I think this is all garbage, or I don't think any of this works, now is not the time to say that. This is the final, right? So this is where you're trying to tell the English department, in this case, this particular assignment, I don't write. This is a departmental exam. But basically, you're telling the department, I have acquired these skills. You're trying to convince, it's an argument, really, that, hey, look, I have, over the course of the semester, I have acquired the skills taught in this class, and I am now proficient in these skills. And so in every body paragraph, you're going to pick a specific thing that we do over the semester, and you're going to write about how you've progressed over the semester. Maybe another paragraph, you might talk about thesis statements, and you might even quote yourself. Now, a question some people have is, do I need to cite myself in MLA format? You don't have to do that in this essay. So for instance, if you were to say, in the beginning of the semester, I had no idea what a thesis statement was supposed to be like. So my thesis statement for essay 1 was, and you quote your thesis statement. And maybe you might say, this wasn't a very good thesis statement because, and you say why it wasn't a very good thesis statement. And then you say, but by the time essay 4 came around, I had a much better understanding of what a thesis statement was supposed to do. And I realized that I needed to declare the topic of my essay and my argument on that topic. So by the time essay 4 came around, my thesis statement was, and quote your thesis statement right there. And you say, this was a much stronger thesis statement because, and then you tell why it was a better thesis statement. See, what you're doing in this project, in this part of the project especially, is you're demonstrating to your reader, which is not just me, it's also the whole English department, you're demonstrating that you have acquired these skills and you've become proficient in these areas, okay? So that is what you're going to be doing. I want you to read the whole thing, this whole assignment. I do have a video in our video lecture folder. Let's see, I believe so. Let me just take a quick look here for the final project. Let's see here. Maybe I don't. Let's see. Is that in the essay 4? No, I guess I don't, but it's okay. Basically, you should, at this point, you should be able to read the assignment and understand what you're doing. And of course, this video is here to help you. If for some reason you have a question as far as how this assignment is supposed to be put together, you can always ask me here. But let me show you how to hand this in. So you're going to hand this into the portfolio project pieces here. So there's a little folder that I have specifically for this. So you open this up and you're going to hand it in 2 documents. So the reflection essay is going to be by itself. So the essay we were just talking about, that is 1 document by itself, handed in here. Then your 3 revised essays, I want you to copy and paste all 3 of those essays onto 1 document, and then you hand that in here. Now remember, again, that's any 2 out of the first 3 essays. So you can, maybe it's essay 1, essay 2, or maybe it's essay 1, essay 3. Any of those 2 are the first 3 essays, plus essay 4. So those 3 total revised essays, and you hand them in 1 document, and you hand it in right here. So again, that's where you're going to hand it in. Once you've handed these in, you're done with the class. So if you want to do this week and just say, hey, I'm going to take off early, that's up to you, whatever you want to do. I would say don't wait till the last minute. Don't rush it either. Again, this is 15% of your grade, so it's a pretty significant portion of your grade. So don't just blow it off. But basically, what you're doing here is essentially you're proving that you know what you should know by the end of this semester. And so, if you have any questions about how this is supposed to be, like specifically, like what am I supposed to be doing in this assignment, I can help you there. But other than that, I cannot help you as far as giving you guidance on how you're supposed to get this done or how you're supposed to write it. The only other thing I can give you guidance on is if you look at your paper and you've really, really tried hard to understand why I made a mark, but you're not sure what the mark is. And you're like, well, I really want to know what the problem was here because I want to make it right. We're not going to have a conversation on whether or not I marked it incorrectly. No, there's a reason why I made the mark. But if you want to say, well, I need to know, I'm not sure what the problem is, so maybe I should ask Professor Coomer. Well, you can go ahead and I'll be in my office hours just like normal. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday this week. Thursday and Friday, of course, is Thanksgiving break, and I'll be taking off during that time. But you can get a hold of me this week. And then, of course, next week, all week, is portfolio. I'll do a little check-in with you guys, a little video check-in on Monday of next week, but there's not going to be anything else we do the rest of the semester. This is it. Okay, this is it. So guys, read and reread the portfolio assignment, and then remember, you're going to hand those 2 pieces in right here. All right, guys, good luck. Happy Thanksgiving, and I will be cheering you on, and I'll be looking forward to getting your essays graded. Please be patient as I get those graded. It will take me a little while. I just had everybody hand in an essay. So those will be graded. At the very worst, at the very latest, your essay should be graded and ready for you to revise. Essay 4 will be graded and ready for you to revise by Wednesday next week. All right, guys, go ahead and get started. Have a great week.